Couple projects here. We've got some older Traegers, vintage about 2005 on the one in the back, and the one in the front is pre-2000. So thinking this is probably the late 90s, last century even. So we're going to take a look at these, see what we can do to bring these back to life. Follow along. Thanks for watching. All right, we got a couple of old Traegers. I just picked these guys up yesterday. Favorite price. So differences between these two. Welded hinges on here, the little stops for when you open it up, and also the badge on the front. Things. Now both of these have the older style, high, medium, and smoke for the settings on the controllers. Haven't tested those out to find out if they work. Probably going to upgrade those to newer. There you can see kind of that barrel look to it. BBQ075, which is still the current model name for this, or a Big Tex. Has the wooden handles there. Needs a little work, huh? Look at that. Look at how much stuff is in there. That chimney probably can't even do anything at all. That's crazy. Didn't notice that before. So you notice a difference here in the legs of this compared to the newer ones. So these were US made in Mount Angel, Oregon. They have the welded legs. On the newer ones, which are actually manufactured in China, you can unbolt the legs and take those legs off. So these are a fixed leg. And we're going to take a little look around here. You can see there's quite a bit of rust on here that needs to be removed. And I've got a complete video that shows how we get rid of rust, how we prime, and how we paint. So that'll be linked down in the bottom. Yeah, we're just going to use a wire wheel and also flap discs on an angle grinder to get rid of this. Then we're going to go inside, get rid of a lot of this stuff inside that has never been cleaned out, replace that burn pot that's got a hole in it, and basically just clean up this entire inside. The metal's really solid in these, so that's not going to be an issue. There is a piece on the back that holds the grill grates in place that I'm going to replace, but everything else looks really good. You can see there's some pretty substantial rust on the back. We'll take care of that also. We're going to replace a lot of the electronics in here to upgrade those to new. The nice thing is most of the Traegers use universal all the way from these up to probably the mid-2000s. So hey, if you like what we're doing here, if you wouldn't mind helping me out, give me a like, a subscribe on this. It really helps out, letting YouTube know that this is valuable. Give me some comments and turn on those notifications as well. So here's an upgrade that I'm going to add. These are really heavy smokers and kind of difficult to move around because you've got to grab on this handle on the end to move them, lift them up. I think this thing must weigh like 350 pounds, but no front wheels. So what we're going to do is to add some wheels onto that. So this is a cool little item. It's threaded and it basically fits up inside here. So you just pound that into there and then it provides you the threads to be able to attach a wheel on. And I got locking wheels so that way I can make sure that this stays stable on a surface. So you see where we can just twist these threads in, adjust them to the right height to be able to keep that level. But since we're adding distance, I'm going to have to cut this pipe down. So I measured about where I think I'm going to have these seated, and it's a little more than 4 inches. I think it's about 4 1/4 inches. So I'm going to cut 4 1/4 inches off of here. I put this one in just to kind of test it to make sure I can get that in. Make sure you measure the inside of this pipe so that you get the right size, and that is super stable in there. So this is going to be a nice little upgrade. There we go, second one is done. Nice thing is you don't have to be super accurate because you're going to adjust these anyway. Once you get the wheels on, you can screw them in or out a little bit to be able to make those micro adjustments so that it sits level. So just as long as you're pretty close, I'd say within 1/4 inch or so, you're good to go. And there we go, both are installed. Yeah, excited to see how these will roll just a lot better now by having wheels on all four as opposed to just wheels in the back. So So here we are, all sanded up and primed. We got rid of that rust. It's all stripped down and we're ready for that high heat paint. Then we'll put it back together. We'll install all the new parts, the handles. We'll test everything out thoroughly and make sure everything works exactly like it should. And then this thing will be ready to go out and make lots of good food for the future. Here we go with the Traeger Big Tex. So this is one of the original ones, late 90s, early 2000s. Not sure exactly on the date. But this has got our complete restoration on it. You see we got rid of all of that rust and used the rust reformer and then used the high temp paint on there afterwards. Upgraded the controller. We've got a new one. The old one basically just had a smoke low and high setting on it. There's the hopper. My little trick here, put a little magnet on with whatever is cut off the bag from your pellets, so you always know what kind of pellets you've got in there. Here is the fashionably shaped new handle. In the back here, this little lip that the grates rested on was pretty rusted out, so have a friend that made a new one of these and just attached that on with some stainless steel screws, so that'll give many years. Put in a new RTD probe, put in a new burn pot, a new hot rod. This shelf, we replaced the wood on the front of it, so that's a nice little addition. That is a removable shelf. The stack on here was in pretty bad shape, so we replaced that, put a new one on. Drilled a hole to put a thermometer in there, analog thermometer, to see what's going on with that heat when it just about is coming out of the stack. But I think we did a pretty good job of restoring this. It's going to give somebody a lot of good years of use. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope this is useful, inspires you. Maybe you want to find an old Traeger and restore it for yourself.